MR.KOA.
We need to talk.
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 Welcome back to Wntt. I'm Mr. KOA alongside
Boy.
and we got another guest on the show, a longtime guest from when we first started, back in the day, back in the podcast days.
Yep.
Trezor. You know, he goes by Trey. He has a million AKAs. So I'll let him drop them off. You know, I don't
Yo,
really
look at that camera.
I don't really like them.
My YouTube intro. What's goody in the hoodie like A Boogie? I'm back and I'm better like Bryson Tiller. It's your boy Trezor, AKA Poppy Trey, AKA the Toronto Tiller, AKA President of the Faithful Black Man Association. Don't chase me, chase your dreams. I got it down packed now.
It's down.
I was gonna say, like, I don't understand how you don't mess that up.
It's routine now, muscle memory.
Bodega Boys, they do the same nonsense. And they change theirs up too, which is even worse.
That's what I'm saying. Like, every week they add like another one.
They write theirs down though.
That's true.
He has this is go-to.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you for having me.
It's a lot different than what it used to be like. You know, now we're on TV.
Step up in a life. I see you guys.
We got to be a little bit more clean and censored on because we're on TV now, but topics don't change. So tell us what you've been up to, what you've been doing lately.
Just a bit of the same, just at a higher level and more frequently.
Yeah.
Basically, I'm still on my social media grind, still doing the music stuff here and there when I can, and now slowly starting to get into more mainstream media. I haven't started anything yet, but I have a lot of stuff possibly in the near future that'll be coming up. So hopefully by like this time next year, like it'll be on a different level.
That'd be cool, man. I saw that you were starting to post some stuff, or you were like fooling around with TikTok the other day.
Yeah.
And it's funny because I feel like the engagement on that app is crazy.
It is. So the reason why I even started, I don't know if you know Shane Bennett.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, so Shane actually messaged me. He was like, yo, you need to hop on TikTok. Like, you do good on it. And I'm like, yeah, but I see how TikTok is and it's weird and whatever. But I'm like, you know what?
Typical skepticism.
Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? Okay, whatever. So I downloaded it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, how do you get followers on this? Because it's not one of those where, like, that's not really the demographic that I have, because TikTok is mainly like a younger audience. So it's not like I could just be like, yo, follow me on TikTok to my Instagram and Twitter. People are going to follow me. So I'm like, you know what? Because I'm skeptical about this, I'll start this on the low and just see what happens. So literally, I just started from zero, posting videos just with hashtags. Watched a couple YouTube videos on how to get TikTok famous and just started posting videos. And it's not like in 2 videos stuff happens, but that does happen to some people. I've probably posted like 50, 60, 70 videos on there. But for me, that's not that's not hard. It's like 10-second videos doing like foolishness. And it's kind of a different game on there, because it's like, for things to blow on TikTok, it's like the less effort you put in and the more like weird it is how it'll pop.
Yeah.
So the first video I ever had that did numbers was a saved snap memory that I had that I just posted of my friend driving to the other side of the highway to avoid traffic, right?
Yeah.
That's wild.
And that, it was.
Wait, what?
You just let him say that?
What?
You just let him scroll over that like
So basically,
So
basically, I think, and the reason why this happened is actually kind of embarrassing. But anyways, we were going to Luxie's.
Yeah.
And I think it was free before like 12 or 11:30. And there was mad traffic, but it was one of those parts where it was on the highway where it was like grass, and then the other side of the highway, because you were merging onto the highway.
Okay, yeah.
So like, I think one person did it. Like, they just cut across the grass, and he's like, yo, whatever, I'm going.
Wait, was driving against
No, it's the same direction, but it's like you're merging onto it, but there's the patch of grass in between.
Yeah.
So people just started cutting over the grass to go onto the main highway.
The traffic part.
So I just recorded that, posted it with Dior by Pop Smoke playing in the background. Because on TikTok, like, you link songs to the videos.
To it, right?
And I can see TikTok is gonna blow a lot of songs. Well, it happened with Lil Nas X, but because every video that you post, like, this audio, it has the name of the audio on it.
Yeah.
So if it's a viral audio,
you keep hearing the song.
You keep hearing the song and you have the name of the song, and then people just naturally search it.
Yeah.
So that was the first one. And then the second one literally just happened a few days ago. I was joking around. I'm like, you know what? Because there's a lot of dancers on TikTok. I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna just make a dance video on TikTok and see if it works. Come back, 80,000 views. I'm like, huh? 500 extra followers. I'm like, whoa, what? So I'm like, okay, cool. Posted another one. It didn't really do that well. And then 4 or 5 days ago, I posted. This is what I don't get about the internet, bro.
Yeah.
You spend years making quality content, putting work in. My biggest video on TikTok now, I have 6,000 followers now. It just hit 700,000 views, over 100,000 likes. It's me. I'm sitting with my camera like this. I'm like, yo, I went to the farm and I met a cool ass lamb. And then I put a picture montage of me and a goat. Like the first picture is me petting it. The second one is me with my arm around it. And the third one is me sitting on it. 700,000 views, 100,000 likes.
Doing nothing.
People are recreating it, like sending it to me. Like, I'm like, yo, this is ridiculous. But I can see how you could grow, and you can link
your
accounts to like your main TikTok. Like the Instagram emoji will pop up, and your YouTube will pop up. So
you can pull
people just click one button and they'll follow you on Instagram, follow you on YouTube and stuff. So the followers will transfer.
Have you noticed the metric from TikTok?
Yeah, it's been like they've been transferring like at a slow rate, but I only have 6,000 followers and I've had probably a few hundred people follow me. So if I could just finesse that and get to like 1 million followers early before people are on it, you can transfer that and hit a lick.
TikTok, would you say TikTok is like an advanced Vine?
It is. Yeah.
I haven't downloaded it yet. I personally haven't downloaded it yet because I'm almost 30. Personally, not to say
you're right.
Because I know Gary Vee made a video about, just do it, blah, blah, it's the new thing, whatever. I get it. Cool. But for like, doesn't mean you can't goof around, do whatever when you're 30. But even when I was 21 or 22, like even my YouTube channel and stuff, I've never been a person to make videos around fooling around.
Yeah. It depends on your content.
Exactly. Like my content hasn't.
TikTok's not like, you can't put motivational speeches on TikTok. No one's gonna watch that.
You can do that, but I've seen, the thing that interests me about TikTok is I've seen people, Steven Van, he was posting like mini tutorial videos on there.
Yeah, those will work. Yeah.
She's like, this is how
tutorial videos will
work. I'm gonna show you guys how to edit this photo like this. And then he would just go boom, 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 and that was it. And there was that dude that blew up making the cooking videos where he's like, this is how you make the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Yeah. And then he'd make it. And
those work.
And
informational videos,
there, then Twitter, and then
informational videos work. And I had a gripe with that too, because there was a whole genre now of, I'm gonna show you how to make a song like A Boogie. You need this beat.
This guy's been doing this.
I was like, I've been doing this for years. Years. I was like, you know what? Okay. I was like, all right, if you win. I was like, you know what? Okay, if you can't beat them, join them. All right, I'm gonna finesse this. Cause you can grow like exponentially. I don't know how the algorithm of TikTok works, that you could just grow so exponentially. There's a girl named Charlie D'Amelio, some little white girl. She got 8 million followers in 6 weeks. 8 million.
What she do?
Little dance videos like this. Like that's it. 8 million.
Is she a kid?
She's probably like 16.
So she's the kid.
I was gonna say though. Okay, so last week we talked about.
I was about to say. I know she's a kid. Like,
because we talked about the demographics of social media, right? So when we're talking about, in that particular conversation, we're talking about seeing girls on social media that look way older than they actually are. And then imagine being a guy that age. There's no way you're talking to any of those girls because they don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah,
right?
Facts.
So then Ryan was talking about, imagine us growing up in high school with
like how kids have Instagram now. Like kids have Instagram now in high school today. So like crazy. You can be in class with a girl that's on Instagram in your school. Like I can see your Instagram page in school and then see you tomorrow. Yeah. And like finesse you tonight and then be like hit you up tomorrow. Like
It's a different game.
I think everything's changed, like even down to dating, because the girls that I'm seeing on IG now, when I was in high school, those girls did not exist to me. Like I would not believe that they were real.
Yeah. you saw who was in your area and that's it.
Yeah.
Even if you had people on MSN or whatever, did you guys ever have like word of mouth MSN ads? Like one of your homegirls would be like, yo, my homegirl's cute. So. She has green eyes. Yeah. She's thick. Add her. And you don't know what she looks like. You're just adding her just off the description.
Yeah.
Like a cop sketch.
Wow. But now it's like, yo, you can live in London and I can FaceTime you every single day.
Yeah.
Become
like
your best friend or even start dating you before I've even met you in person.
Yeah.
That was not possible 10 years ago.
No.
It really wasn't. So to the point about TikTok, I think part of the reason why it's allowing people to blow up the way it is because of the demographic using it. You know, like how many people, I stopped using Snapchat a while ago, but when I stopped using it, I remember seeing people with snap streaks that were like hundreds of days.
Yeah.
And it made no sense to me. I was like, hold on, I'm in a relationship, but I'm not in a streak that's like in the hundreds. The most I ever got to was probably like 50.
Same.
Something
I
like
got
that.
to like 20.
Or like
one
using
time.
it every day.
You have to use it every day with that same person. So then I'm thinking, okay, the reason why, because I first saw it on Instagram. Like Instagram early in the day, I would say as early as 3-4 years ago. I remember living next door to my neighbors. They were all in high school. We were doing photography, videography, but I would look at their stuff. I'm like, how are they getting like 600-700 likes a photo? It makes no sense. Then I realized,
it's all kids.
They go to school. It's like, someone Trey just posted a photo. I'm gonna like it.
The whole school.
They don't think about it. There's
whole school.
I'm not gonna like this photo because if I do, it's gonna send a message. That's our generation kind of thing.
Culture is just
it's like you can if you're thinking about this, like this is probably the easiest way to even compare it. So it's funny to even talk about because I'm like, the day and age is so different now. Like I was the man in my high school, right? I'm the best basketball player, the best football player, popular, whatever you want to call it, right? So
must be nice.
But think about that in high school and think about that if I had social media in high school. I'd have my whole school.
Stupid.
Yeah.
Like I would be the guy for my whole school.
Facts.
And then what would happen is
You'd be the guy in that
I would be
area.
the guy like, oh, that's the guy from that school. Other schools would find it like I would have the whole Peel district like following me. You know what I'm saying?
Look at like LaMelo or Zion.
Yeah. If you're the man like that, like your whole city, your whole every school, around every high school.
And then it translates to pop culture because if you're that nice, now you're in high school, Drake's wearing your jersey, and that takes you to another level. To where no one can talk to you at all. Drake is wearing my jersey. I'm in grade 10.
I'm going to classes. And you're on Instagram, you're like, is that your jersey?
Yeah. And plus, it depends where you live, because I remember some of my friends that went to prep school in like LA, they said how everyone just, in general, minimum 5,000 followers.
Yeah.
Just because schools out there have like 6,000, 7,000 kids. So just off your school alone, you're gonna have 5,000 followers. You're gonna get like 1,000 likes off of each follower just off top.
Just cause.
Yeah, just how the culture is now, it's wild. But also that, it makes it worse for them, like like they don't know how to talk in person and stuff like that. So
a lot of them are weird. Like I'm not gonna front. There's some people that I've met who are in that generation. And to your point, I realized you guys have no real social skills. It's kind of weird. And I think we saw the peak of that with, what's his name? That YouTuber, Logan Paul, right? Because those guys were, like that video I posted the other day on YouTube, yeah? My boy Kwame was at my crib yesterday and he's asking me, like, what was the effort for you to make this video? How long did it take you? And I said, if I wasn't running into technical issues, I could have shot and edited and put that video out in a day. Right, 2 days max. It took me like 4 days. But then after I posted it, I said to myself, there's no way I could do daily vlogging. There's no way that I could.
Constantly.
Like, I really sat there and I said to myself, in order for you to film something every single day.
You're not even living it anymore.
Well, the thing is, those guys.
You're not actually living it.
They have a team.
At Logan's level, he has a team. He might hold the camera from time to time.
He's not editing.
And then someone else is editing. He's got a team, maybe it's remote, whatever.
Yeah.
But there were people that did that, like Casey Neistat did that for a full year. And I was like, yo, these guys get so lost in their world, they lose touch with reality, right? And that's what happened with Logan, because he was doing the daily vlogging thing, and then he went to that park in Japan, saw like the person that had taken their life, and he was just like, oh, I'm gonna record this because it's like content, right? That's how lost these kids are. And I'm like, yo, because I saw it, and to that point, to your point about the clout, him and KSI just fought
again
in that boxing match again in the Staples Center, made crazy money, and it all comes from content, like how much stuff they were putting out.
Yeah. And like, it's just, I've realized now, as me being like I don't even like to call myself a YouTuber, but sure, YouTuber, because I'm trying to get my numbers up on that.
Yeah.
YouTube has become a mockumentary. Like, it's real people doing real things, but it's like reality television. It's like scripted to a degree. And it just cheeses me how, like, it's like some people, it's like, how do you not see that this is fake?
Yeah.
Like, people are believing all these things that are happening. You think conveniently, like, these people are just doing these things in these places, running into each other and stuff. But like, that's just, I can't get into it.
Yeah.
Like the fake vlogs, I can't do it.
Yeah, I think, like, once
the transition of, I believe the transition of social media, and I think what's worked for me personally and may continue to work for other people is, like you were saying, like there's a lot of scripts and, you know, planned and orchestrated stuff happening. The shift to authenticity is definitely what's going to balance this, right? Because people are so used to getting content. It's like, oh, these guys planned this, or this is fake, or this is a prank, or this is that. They're like, when someone's actually talking about, like, I wouldn't say I'm a motivational speaker. I do, you know, motivate people.
Yeah.
But I'm also very raw. Just like sometimes I say something, you're like, you just said that. I'm like, yeah. Like, and I'm not saying it for clicks. I'm just like, no, this is how you also feel. Like, you're just scared to say it because that person will laugh at you, because that person might not be your friend or might unfollow you, or just like, I'll make statements about, you know, we're all on Instagram, we're all looking for follows, and then for me to say a comment like, whether you like me or not, or whether you follow me or not, I actually don't care. Yeah. People are like, of course you care. No, I actually don't. Like, you care so much that you don't even believe I don't care. Like, that's how deep you are. They're like, there's no way. There's no way he can't care if I care this much. You know what I'm saying?
I know this to be true because people are weirded out when they see you and I just repost other people's stuff for no reason. Yeah. Right? Like, I'll repost some of my boy's stuff and he'll say things to me like, yo, thanks, like, I can't believe you did that. And you're like, and I'm like, I liked it, so I just did it. Like, I'm not looking for anything in return, but a lot of people feel like, okay, based on how social media is set up nowadays, you have to do that.
Why would you do that?
Yeah. Like, but it's genuine though, you're doing it because you like it. I don't like when people ask me to do things for them. It's like, if I want to do it, I'll do it, and I have no problem doing it, but don't try to pressure me to doing things for you. Like, for what?
That's silly.
Because I've never been that person. Like, I've never like messaged you guys and been like, yo, can you repost this for me or comment on, like, if you want to do it, you're gonna do it.
You're gonna do it. People are just gonna latch on to what they like, and if you ask me to do it, it's not genuine at that point.
Exactly.
I think, especially with social media, like, I posted your videos many times and tag you in it all the time. People go every time I post your video and I tag you, there's at least like 300 people that go to you, which is amazing to me. I love that. Love seeing that. But the reason, like, I don't post a lot of people's stuff in my story or on my page or whatever, because I also don't want to become like, you know, like, I take my opinion very seriously. And I feel like if I just posted everything just to be a nice guy, it would take away from like the actual trust that people have in my word, right? So like, I know if I do post something, people are like, okay, if he's posting this, he doesn't post a lot of stuff, but he does, it's probably something I'll check out, right? But what's interesting is when people see other people, I guess, getting, like, sharing things, or actually, you know what it started from? Remember when, like, I guess when Vine was so popular, all those creatives in LA all worked together all the time. Yeah. So, and it became like this thing where you're like, follow this guy, follow this guy, follow this guy, follow this guy. And they all just blew at the same time. Then they all separated into
They all lived in the same apartment complex. And would shoot every day.
That was the most rare thing for social media to exist. And people didn't even realize that they fell right into that trap. It wasn't a trap, but like they fell into like, this works if you actually support your friends. Like,
it does.
But no one actually realized that they were like, I'm gonna follow this guy and then this guy, and they're all friends. And they kind of just did it. And then it kind of stopped, right? Like, especially since everyone built their own, following from that, they're not doing that as much anymore, which granted is like anything, you make a boy band, you make a group, someone gets bigger, you break apart, fine, whatever. But it proved that can work. And it also proved that people like word of mouth and like recommendations will always be the strongest form of marketing.
Yeah, for
right?
sure.
So like, it means the more we shoot lots of together. I'll bring my weddings, he'll bring some of his weddings. But people seeing us together all the time, like, it's almost like, it'll get to a point, if we keep doing this, it'll get to a point where like, okay, like, that's what they do. I'll support them both because I keep seeing this. But if you just do one offset by yourself, you bring one person random here, like, you can actually create and facilitate a brand and a brand of friends if you're consistent enough with it. But people fear, like, that fear of like, if Trey gets bigger than me and I get like, they don't understand. Like, it's not about if someone gets bigger than you. Like,
there's enough food for everyone to eat.
Exactly.
There really is. And it's frustrating because as a creator or freelancer or entrepreneur, it's frustrating when I see people not understand that concept. Right? And it's really, like, it's even more frustrating when it's like you're talking to a young person about this who wants to do anything like what we do. And it's like, yo, just put out good content and find like-minded people who aren't trying to take anything from you. Right? You want to.
But that's difficult.
Yeah, it is difficult. It's very difficult.
That's the problem. Like,
it's very difficult because I think at this point, most people don't have that mindset, right? Which is why they're weird. They're actually genuinely freaked out when they see.
Freaked. You're like, oh my God, you posted my stuff. It's like, oh my God.
Like, it's not a big deal. I just press a button. That's it.
Because if people are like real, if say all three of us do stuff together all the time, and then you super blow up, if you rate us, you're gonna put us on too, just naturally, and we're gonna get bigger too because you got bigger as well. Like, keeping other people down is not gonna help you get up.
You know how? Okay, you know Dante? Dante Carlo?
Yeah.
So I've known Dante for like almost 4 years now, right? And the way I met this guy was because I was at Cold Tea, and it was like the first year that I had my drone. So I brought that thing everywhere. So
is that when you got him dancing up there?
Yeah. So it's that video where it was like he was dancing on like some patio up top on a balcony, and I recorded it with my drone. And then since then, him and I became friends because he thought it was hilarious. I see him all the time. He's friends with like one of my good friends. And he blew up big like this past year. And I go to this Canada Goose event like 2 weeks ago, and he's there. And he knows my girl too, because last time she came, she was hanging out with him and like his friends. So I see people like being very groupie-ish like around him. And like now, but even at that party, and there are other famous people there too, and everyone's just like freaking out. Like, oh my God, it's this guy. I'm acting like normal, and then he comes up to me and he's just like, yo, like, I haven't seen you in a minute, and we're talking. And then he says, yo, let's get a picture before you leave. And take a pic, and that was it. I posted it like it was normal. The next day, I think he just like reposted the photo to his story, and then all these people are like freaking out about it. And I'm like, people think that as soon as you reach a certain level, you can no longer be the same person, or all aspects of you have to change. And it's like, he's genuinely just a nice person. So for him to just repost that, he was like, oh, that's a nice photo, I'm gonna do it.
That's my friend.
But other people will look at that and be like, yo, who's this guy he took a photo with? And I'm like, it's really not that serious. But people will take it that way, right? So it's frustrating. And like, I get why some people, when they get big, they don't wanna, I was about to say, I get why they don't wanna put people on. I don't get that. Right? But it's like, I understand once you get to a certain level, now you're not even, you're almost like a brand, like a product at this point.
Okay, there's a fine line. This is why. Right? I understand when you say you don't get it, but
No, I do and I don't. Like
when you get to a certain level, even with friendships or whatever, or especially business, especially your success and whatever, like you've built a brand, you've built a standard for yourself, right? And what happens is you now have to sift through the friends and the associations that you have that actually have a product or a service that are actually quality versus someone that's just like, yo, put me on just because I want to blow.
Yeah.
Right? Like there's now, like you now have a decision process to make where it's like, okay, I'm at this level. I know, like Drake knows anything he touches will blow if I say so. Yeah. Like that's a crazy power, right? The fact that, crazy thing, I shot a I shot an interview with Jetson Maid last week, and he couldn't get through, Border Patrol, right? He called Drake, got him through. That's a power. Yeah. Like that's right. So when you know that you have a power to just do something and put anyone on, it's not that you don't want to put anyone on because it's not about that. Just like now, it's like
there's regulations.
There's regulations, but it's like I've put in such a high level of work to get to this point. I can't just put anyone on. Because that one is not. It's not. That actually is taking away from you in that sense, right? Because like now it's taking away from your credibility.
But to play devil's advocate though, because I agree with everything you're saying, but I'm sure Trey will agree. Like there are people who don't do a lot of work to get to a level, and then they act like stush about it.
Like they're the guy. Like they did no work for it. But
like I wouldn't be surprised that girl you mentioned who blew up on TikTok, got 8 million followers. She's not just gonna repost like her friends like it's normal.
Yeah, because she's acting like she's somebody.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Those people I don't understand, right? But to your point, I do. Like if you get big, I don't expect you to.
I do understand for those people too. So it's twofold now. So the people that work hard to get to a certain level, they can't put people on because they're like, I have a credibility to upstand, and I can't just put my boy on because he's my boy. Like you don't actually have a good thing. Like if I just put you on and no one likes your stuff, it's like I don't trust it, right? So and man's like, yo, y'all put me on. It's like, bro, you don't have anything. Like I can't just put you on. That's that for people who actually work hard. People who blow overnight, they can't put people on because if they put someone on, it's actually doing something that is good. It overshadows them, right? That's the problem. So if you made something out of yourself without any skill and you became famous, and you put someone like Trey who actually has a set of skills, can write, can do this, and you got here with nothing, and you put Trey on, Trey's duplicating you. Like, it's a pride thing at that point.
Yeah, because those people they would only be worried though because they have that mentality where it's like, there's too much, there's not enough food.
Not even just that. You actually know you don't deserve to be here. Like,
and you don't know what to do. There's a lot of people, I know you see there's so many people on social media that have all these numbers and don't know what to do with it. Right. And like you in your mind, you're like, I'm the type of person where I'm like, yo, they better never, ever let me get 1 million followers. Like, don't ever let me get 1 million because I am out of here.
Brian and I have been talking, which reminds me, I'm gonna hound this guy today.
Have to.
I'm not gonna name this.
Nah, we're not gonna talk about it. We're just basically saying, with the following and the limited reach Zamora and I have and the quality of work we put out, you do not want to give us a quarter of what some people have right now. Really because we'll actually monetize that to a level that's like
crazy.
It's like crazy because we're basically doing what we can do with this small little thing. And we're making a living for ourselves. I'm making a living for myself with this little thing. I have under 10K followers and I'm fine. I'm 9,000 followers and I'm like, okay, let's just circle this little thing around. If you gave me 10 times that with my same mentality and same quality of work, bro, like it's not even to say like followers and expansion is all guarantees success, but it's the work ethic I have will ensure that and it will just duplicate what I'm already doing.
And just your mindset, and you know that you've put in the work to where now you know it's one of those where it's like you stay ready so you don't have to get ready. So if tomorrow you woke up with 1 million followers, you're not gonna be like, what do I do? Like you know what to do. Like I know that I've put in my 10,000 hours that if tomorrow I had a shiggy moment and I got 5 million followers, I'm flipping that and I'm out of here. I know step by step exactly what I'm gonna do because I watched, like I've watched everything happen. The first time I started making videos was like, I think summer going into grade 12. So like 2016. I started from then and I've been watching everything. I saw the Vine stuff happen. I saw all of that, like that you would talk about with the teams, and I remember all of it. I keep it to memory. I remember when King Batch, because
from here, isn't he?
yeah, he was born in Rex. I remember King Batch, he was a YouTuber first. And that's when I just started making YouTube videos. I could probably find tweets from 2013 of me sending him my videos and him being like, haha, that was funny. He started Vine. I remember King Batch had 3,000 followers, started posting 3 videos a day. And I said it, I'm like, yo, he's going hard on this. 1 million, 5 million, 10 million. He's out of there. And then that whole group started, him, Melvin, Greg,
that's what I was talking about.
Storm,
That whole group,
popped. Like all this stuff is in my memory, and I've seen like the trajectory and the steps that they've done. So I know that if I ever get that opportunity, I know exactly what to do.
It's insane, man. Like it really is.
I have a question for both of you guys. So we're all creatives in our own right. We're all doing great things, which is important. What do you think is each of your, in the most simplest and concise way to say, obviously you have bigger plans, bigger ideas, but what would you say is your main method to remain consistent once you get to where you'd like to get to? Because everyone blows eventually, if they're supposed to, right? I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. But it's the maintaining part, right? You know, you talk about King Batch, whatever. He did his Vine thing. He grew his followers. He got to a level. It's like when Vine died, he's like, I'm still gonna ride this. I got up here. I'm not dying this. So now he's in movie stuff. He's in commercials. He's branding. Like he's like, Vine's dead, but if you get me up here, I'm not coming down. And he hasn't come down. His videos aren't as great, and like he still tries to make these little funny videos. He still already has that following because it's not going to go anywhere. So I feel like he just kind of throws it in there like, okay, this is to please you guys, but I'm making a movie now. You know what I'm saying? But he's found a way to balance like this audience that followed me from small, hear the videos that you guys still like, but I can also project myself and do these certain things to maintain at this high level and be respected by the level I'm at now. What do you think is your way of, when you do get there, maintaining a high level and staying there? What do you think you need to do, or what do you think you will do?
You go first.
I think well, first of all, I think that comes with you.
I mean, you
being
like you specifically. What would you do?
First of all, it's like working to being a brand instead of just boxed into one thing. So that's why I do a lot of things. Like I'll like make music. I'll do YouTube. I'll do Instagram. I'll do like real acting type stuff. So that I think the main way that I would stay consistent is not getting bored with what I do. So I feel like if I did one thing, like if I only posted videos on YouTube and that's all I ever did, eventually you're gonna burn out and you're gonna be like, yo, I don't wanna do this anymore. But the fact that I spread my time out sometimes, where like it's good and bad, because you do have to focus on some things more than others, but it'll be like, okay, I've done YouTube videos for a week, let me go make 10 beats today, or let me go record something else. So I think you can stay consistent by doing things not necessarily in one market,
in moderation,
but you can put things out to where you're still seen, like your name is still mentioned, you're still seen, but it doesn't have to just be for one thing. Like I could put out one YouTube video, one song, one Instagram video, one TikTok video, and one beat like a week, and technically I'm still only doing one of each, but you're seeing me 6 times. So that's kind of how I would just like spread it out.
That's an interesting way to look at it. I think for me, I think a lot of it comes down to is not changing the team that I have around me, to be honest with you. Like I don't think anyone who blows does it entirely by themselves, despite what people will let you think.
It's impossible.
Right? So I think your work ethic and what you do when no one's watching plays a big part, or it's the biggest part. But if you have people around you who are gonna tell you, yo, this wasn't as good as this, or maybe you should fix this, or I really like this and these are the reasons why. I never understood why once some people get to a certain level, they just completely switch up the people that kind of got them there to begin with, right? Like, once I blow up, why would I think in my head to replace like Ryan with a guy that I just met a year into my phase of being at that level, right? He doesn't know me. Like, I want people who knew me before I was the guy, because they're the ones that are gonna be like, yo, this decision might not be the best. They're the ones that are gonna know where it's gonna work. So I feel like that's where a lot of people fall off. I've seen it with influencers. They reach a big point, they get entirely new friends, they start acting different, and then a lot of them, their content just suffers, especially because they weren't working with the same people from before. So that's a big thing for me. I wouldn't switch up the teams. My best friends aren't changing. I always think of like LeBron, for example, how he's had like literally the same dudes his entire life.
And gave them jobs. You're going to be this, you're going to be that.
And the thing is, he wasn't even whack about it. He wasn't like, you're my boy, so I'm just going to give you this job.
No.
They had to, very much like how I think you would approach it, he was like, I'm not going to give you a job just because you're my boy. Like, you have to do something about this. And it's like, okay, they did what they were supposed to do, and now they're in this position. So for me, that's probably the biggest thing. And then just constantly making sure I hone my skills, you know? From a videography perspective and people who create content, I think one thing that I would try not to do is outsource all the creative work. So the way we're talking about Logan Paul, he does all this stuff, he has editors. I feel like at some point...
He's detached now. He's detached.
He's detached. Like, or even
he's detached from his own brand.
Yeah, or even like the filmmaking process of it, I feel like I still need to be hands-on at some point. Like, I need to have that creative edge. Otherwise, I'm not really doing anything creative. You know? What about you? What do you think?
I've been thinking a lot about this lately, actually, because there's been a couple moments this year where I made a lot of money, and a couple moments where like wasn't so much, but because I made so much money in that short time, I was like, these dead months, actually, it's a lie. It was never dead, but like there's months I was like, whoa, and there's months I was like, okay, this might be normal versus what it was, right? Yeah. And those moments where I was like, but then things happen in those moments where I lost a lot of money versus I had to get my car fixed, I had to get this fixed, I had to get this went damaged. Like the times I made so much money and everything started getting damaged. I'm just like, okay, like, right? So it kind of woke me up to be like, all right, one, this is gonna keep happening. That's just what it is, right? So next year's gonna keep happening. Something's gonna happen where I lose all this money again. It's just what it is, right? You might make more, you keep losing more. So I'm like, to account for this fluctuation, to account for this, you know, these potential situations that are going to happen, not maybes, like going to happen, I have to find a way to build my brand to a point where it's extended beyond my own reach.
Yeah,
where it's like it's sustainable, but it's like the brand, like the people I keep around me, absolutely my friends, family, etc., whatever, but the team and just the process of how I do business now has to be at a point where like my goal is to put it at the point where it's like, even if I don't actually know how to do something, I have someone who does, right? And the person who does know how to do something is still aligned with my brand, right? So I'm putting people in place and finding ways to expand, but also support other people. Like if people feel that they're appreciated, they'll do things for you, right? And it's not to trick them and act like you appreciate. No, like if you genuinely appreciate someone's work and appreciate someone's work ethic, they will do things for you, right? And the key to being a CEO or whatever, you know, person that leads is working through people, right? You can only do so much by yourself. You can be the creative head, you can be the creative process, you can be the person that's like, this is what gets done, this is what gets done. But you don't become a millionaire by just staying at the top and living by you don't. Yeah. You become a millionaire because 100 people are working for you and they believe in you. You know what I'm saying? So my goal, my actual personal goal is 100 people. That's what I've made for myself. 100 people that are connected to me in some way, either workers, volunteers, you know, people who design, like just 100 people. They might all work, they might not all be employees, may not all be part of my actual team, but they are connected to me in a way. If I have 100 people, like if my goal is I'm making a document and every name, if I have a list of 100 people and I know those 100 people and they're all doing something, there's nothing that can stop me. Do you understand? Like, even if it's a little bit and there's something that they're consistently doing, they hit me up like, yo, I did that thing.
Yeah.
Thank you, bro. Remember that thing you told me to do? Yeah, I did that. And I'll check in with them. I'll even have someone that checks in with them. Like, I don't need to actually personally check. Like, if I have someone that's the role is to check in with those people, whatever that may be. But if I have 100 people, bro, doing stuff that helps them as well as my brand, impossible.
Yeah.
Like, impossible, right? So that's my 5-year plan. I think it's doable based on the trajectory I'm on and what I'm doing and what I represent. Like, I know if I make a post tomorrow, I need 100 people to be part of my brand, I would get it. But it's not about that. It's about, I need to pick those people, right? Because that's how we're just talking about it. Like, you just put people on. It's like, people would probably be like, yeah, I'll do it. Like, because they want to be on or whatever it is, or they think, but I have to meticulously be like, who are these people and why are these people in these places? Because the same way that could destroy you, right?
Facts.
So.
That was very deep. We talked about it for 40 minutes. Anyway.
I mean, we have 3 very creative people on the stage right now. It's not a...
Quick segue to some, like, completely reckless.
All right, let's get to the foolishness.
Yeah, we need to talk about OnlyFans for a second.
Okay.
Because, here's my thing. The other day, I'm on IG, and this fitness chick that I've been following for, like, a while, she made a post saying that she's basically moving all her fitness stuff to a new page. So her main page has something like 800,000 followers.
Okay.
And that's a fitness page, right? But we know what fitness pages are like on IG nowadays.
It's just tight pants.
Right?
Yeah. Squats,
right? Everyone's really good at doing squats, apparently.
Right.
So anyway, she's saying, all my fitness stuff, I'm moving it over to a new account. It's like, I'm really anxious about it because I've built up this following, so to start following me over there. This page, she was also like a model. She's like, I'm gonna focus more on my modeling and exciting news. I'm creating an OnlyFans page.
For this one.
Yes, and I saw this post and I started laughing, right? Because I have seen this wave of bare people just making an OnlyFans account and like actually cashing out on this, right? Yesterday, Zoe? You guys know Zoe? Smith? You know her.
Oh, yeah.
She posts this thing, right? This girl says, this is probably going to get deleted, but I've been talking to Quavo for the last couple months. He doesn't really love that girl. If he did, he wouldn't be talking to me. There's just so much to unfold that I've learned from him and Offset, right? And she posted a photo of her on FaceTime with him, right? And then I scroll through, first of all, Zoe's just like, I don't understand the point of this. Like, why would you post this in phone with a bag?
Yeah.
First of all. But anyway, I'm going through the thread because she keeps posting screenshots of conversations she's having. And at the end, she says, update. I'm uploading all the messages, photos, nudes, and FaceTime calls to my OnlyFans account.
She hit a lick. First of all, let me tell you why she hit a lick. And I didn't notice this until I saw someone say it.
Yeah.
Like, we'll talk about it in a greater perspective, but with this situation specifically, she's finessing everyone because it's not real.
It's not real at all.
First of all, if you look at the picture, she's saying she took the screenshots on FaceTime with Quavo. Why is she the big picture?
Exactly.
On the FaceTime and Quavo is the small picture? So off that, you already know it's not true. And if people are actually gonna be stupid enough to pay for this OnlyFans for the fake messages from Quavo, congratulations to that woman, because she just finessed a bunch of idiots.
Dog, it's the OnlyFans phase right now to me is actually insane because, like, okay, let me try to break this down. If someone says to me, look, I'm gonna make money this way, show my body, doing whatever it is I wanna do, cool, do you. But at a certain point, a part of me says to myself, does no one else think this is weird?
It's prostitution.
Does no one else think does no one else think this is crazy? Because I'm seeing what's wild is there are girls on IG. I'm sure there's guys too, but I only know of the women, right? There are women on IG, for example, who have like crazy large followings, and then they low-key have like an OnlyFans account. Where they're making dumb money. And I'm like,
but what are you saying? You're saying this is a bad idea? Or you're saying it's a good idea?
I mean, look, it's smart for them because look, people are gonna pay. They're gonna make crazy money.
You're saying this is weird that they're doing that?
Yeah, like
And they're capitalizing off their sexualization.
Like social media has got to a point now where it's not even like people are losing their damn minds doing this. But it's like, yo, if you told me 10 years ago, if you said 10 years ago, look, a girl said this to you, I'm gonna build a crazy large following on IG, and then from that, I'm gonna start making people pay like $5, $10 a month for them just to see, like, you know, me and my bra, me and my underwear. You look at her and be like, what are you talking about? But when you start seeing those numbers roll in, you're like, holy crap, this is wild. But what's the equivalent for dudes?
There's none.
There is,
That's none.
but we know we don't get equivalents and stuff like that.
there's a lot of
we're
things
not.
that are-
We talked about it last week. We're not sexualized like women are sexualized, right? And the thing is, these horn dogs that
There's
that
always
like
gonna be
are-
them.
There's always
There's always
always
horn dogs.
because the thing is like the porn industry is one of the biggest industries in the world, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like if they can make a quarter of that off soft porn, what? Like I'll even have to really get naked.
Yeah.
Like I can have a boyfriend. My boyfriend's
But
like, yo,
also-
do that. Like,
Yeah, facts. But also,
Would you guys date a girl who had
no.
OnlyFans?
But I'm saying
No.
there are.
But the thing is,
there are
though,
guys
with
that would.
OnlyFans, what I've noticed is now a lot of girls, they're riding that wave, but they're finessing it in a way to where people are turning OnlyFans into Patreon. It's not even, I've seen a bunch of people that have OnlyFans accounts that they're not naked at all. They're not showing, they're not in your bra
But you still came here.
And you'll see people in the comments like, yo, don't get this. I wasted my money. It's the same pictures on Instagram.
But they still came in.
And I've seen a girl make a video that she's like, yo, okay, I deleted my OnlyFans because I don't know why you guys expected me to be naked. I never said that. I said I was posting my modeling pictures and my fitness stuff. I don't know why you
This
guys...
is what OnlyFans is for, though, is it not?
The thing is,
No, it is, because the way I found out about OnlyFans, like discovered it, was when I saw porn stars on Twitter.
Yes.
Like talking about, because what was happening, basically, like, I know way too much about this.
They left private Snap and
But the
went to
thing is, like, I
OnlyFans.
follow a guy who is like, he's either a director or producer in the porn industry. And the way I started following him is because he was arguing with a dude about how this guy was trying to say, like, he's sleazy for this job. And he's like, he basically said, look, there's going to be people that are horn dogs that are going to follow women till the end of time, right?
like, I'm
and it's
cashing out.
And what happened is he's cashing out, but the guy was like, I'll never respect like men who trash these women. Because those women, they're making six figures. They're safer than a lot of people who aren't in the industry. And they're just doing what they want to do. And then from them, the porn stars, they're like, okay, I'm on like these big networks, these big websites. Now I can monetize personally with OnlyFans,
My own brand.
So they're racking crazy money.
You get your job at work, and then you have my own personal brand.
Right? But then I was tripping out when I'm seeing girls who aren't
At that level.
they're not in the porn industry, but they're making OnlyFans to just, a lot of them are like showing themselves on this stuff. So I'm like, this is wild.
Yeah, but
to
okay.
me.
So
I'm not paying.
I'm not paying, but like it's crazy.
But we don't have to pay because it's not us.
I know.
They don't need us.
I know.
They don't need us
They
three
don't.
to pay. I'm telling you right now. There's 30 that will. Us 3 is not making a difference.
They're like, okay. There's like 40 mans behind you that will.
Yeah. And plus, realistically, these OnlyFans, they're easily accessible. I may sound like a disgusting human being for this. But I've seen these OnlyFans pages because there is literally Reddit forums that are just people that have the OnlyFans that want to be good Samaritans, and they're like, yo, I paid the $8.99.
Log in.
Here's what's on. No, not even log in.
Oh, like here's what you'll see.
Here is everything that's
Like,
on
don't
it.
go this way.
Screenshots
Go bottom.
of the OnlyFans, of everything.
yeah.
So it's like you're looking through and you're seeing this girl, that girl.
And you're like, is it worth is it worth it?
Cool.
Yeah.
And then that's it. What about like? I don't know. I just can't understand.
It's not like it's this private thing that you have to get in there to see it. Yeah.
Nope.
One man can get in there and be like, yeah, this is what's in there.
And they do.
All mans give me $1. All mans give me $1. We'll get in.
Everyone pitch $1.
Pitch $1, we'll get in.
Dog, like it's crazy. This whole scenario is nuts. Like it's actually insane to me because I'm not, we talked about those girls. You don't know, you look them on social media, you have no idea how old they are. They turn out to be like 20, 21, 22, looking like bad.
Yeah.
and you find out they have an OnlyFans account, right? Next thing you know, you just think about this girl has 800,000 followers. If she asked people to pay, all she had to say is $1. I'll do this for $1 a month.
800 racks.
$1 a month, right? Think about that.
800 racks.
$1.
And the thing is, if we're being realistic,
and they're not doing $1.
Oh,
they're saying 10. Give me $10, bro.
Mind you, if we're being realistic, when it comes to following metrics, 800,000.
Yes, I know.
So from 800,000, she probably has
like 2%.
Maybe a good 3,000 people locked in.
Yeah.
Even that. 3,000 people paying $10 a month.
3,000 times 10.
A month. A month.
Yo,
a month.
Ryan, I was having a conversation with
outta
my
here.
brother the other day, right? Different generation, but he's on IG, so he's like, yo, he said to me, he's like, I don't understand. I'm seeing these girls on IG, like, always out to dinner, like, going on vacations, like, what are they doing? And I just laughed.
They're being women. That's what they're doing.
I just laughed.
Life.
Because I used to ask myself the same question. I'd be on IG.
Why can I be there?
How is she at the Four Seasons every weekend?
She doesn't work.
I'm like, how are they
She doesn't have a job. Why are you in
doing this?
Dubai?
I'm like, how are they doing
Why
this?
are you in Dubai?
For real. Why are you in Miami every weekend?
Always Miami.
Why are you in LA, always in hotels? Why is this happening?
This is the world we're in, bro.
It's nuts.
The world we're in.
It's nuts.
Yeah.
Question, Trey, or not question, statement. So now you've literally witnessed this show evolve from what it was to begin with an idea. We've seen you evolve as a creative, as a person, and now we're on a TV show doing this, and have you here again is actually amazing. I've seen your progression from the beginning as well, which is beautiful to witness as well. Is there any questions you have for us or any advice that you'd want to ask us at this stage versus what you've seen or what you've experienced, or what you've seen from us, or what you've experienced that you want to talk about real quick?
Probably just more about, like, we were talking off camera some more before you came, just about like when people come to you with pitches or whatever and they ask you for like your rates and stuff. Yeah. And when you guys were at the point where like you didn't really have money up yet, but like you're all right, but like you did not have enough money yet. And are you like, you're sticking to those rates that you're charging? Like, were you guys the type of people to where like, even, like the Joe Budden podcast, they said it too, how they had deals presented to them that they didn't take because it wasn't the right fit and the right numbers, and then they waited for like the Spotify thing, and then that's what popped. So like, you guys, were you guys ever in the position where it's like, like maybe you need the money, or there's something that you could do, you didn't really want to do it, so like, you're gonna have
I ever taken a job that I didn't really want to take? Yeah,
like to get to this position now, were you guys more of just like, I'm gonna keep the faith and just be broke until something happens, or it's like, okay, I'm gonna take these few things that maybe are lower than my rate or I don't want to do in order to get to the bigger picture that I have? Okay, like for me, I think I stuck, if I was thinking like a percentage, I honestly would say it was maybe like 85, 90% of the time, maybe even pushing 95. I would stick to what I wanted to do more. But that's only because I was like fortunate enough to have like multiple streams of income, right? But I'll tell you, like, there's nothing worse than working on a project or something that you just genuinely don't like, right? You know that more than anyone. And it's like, I've done that enough to know I don't like it and I don't want to do it. So I actively avoid it, even to this day. But early in my career of this stuff, yeah, there was a point where I was taking everything because I needed experience, and I definitely needed the money. Like after I left the comfort of like a corporate situation, but that hasn't been the case in a long time for me, where I've taken something because I really needed the money. It's been more so I'm taking it because this is something I'm okay with doing, right? I don't want to compromise myself, because at the end of the day, if I don't like,
I don't know. I know some people can still, like, I can still put out great work or good work for something that I'm not totally passionate about, but I do my best work when I am passionate about it. And I have a hard time lying to myself about that type of stuff too, you know? So what do you think?
I think I did a combination of both where, but also I was also on the side where I didn't really know, because I'm such a, like a, I hate being influenced by external things so much that I'm almost overboard on how little I do research on other people's things. Like I'll even follow a lot of photographers because I don't even like seeing their work. Not because I like other people's work, but I don't like seeing their work on my feed because it influences my style. Sometimes even if you don't want it to, like if you see a shot, you're like, oh, I should do a shot. Like I don't like doing that. It came the same thing with pricing. Like I never checked any photographers' prices, no one's websites. I don't know anyone charges out. Like I don't know anybody charges out there.
I agree with that.
I have no idea. When people are like, yo, like what are photographers? I'm like, I don't know. I actually have no idea. When I price my stuff, I guessed based on like, okay, this is what I was making at work. This is why I left my job. If in a day of work, this is how much I would have made at my day job. I didn't quit my job to make the same. So let me see if I could double that. That'll kind of duplicate for 2 days of work. Like I just started pricing things based on what fit my lifestyle, right? It could have been more than the market, could have been less. I actually don't know. I didn't know, right? I still don't know what people are charging. I actually don't care because your bills aren't my bills, right? So I'm not basing my price on your price, what fits your life. So I might be more than a photographer. I don't know, and I don't care because he's not paying my car or my rent. Like, I don't care. And if someone's willing to pay it, then good, great. If they're not, then, well, I still need that money to pay this, so that can't go lower, right? So I was kind of a combination of like trial and error based on my lifestyle. I did a lot of negotiation back then. I don't anymore. Back then, I did a lot of negotiation where it's like, I would say this price, they'd be like, oh, a little too high. And I'd be like, oh, okay, what can I come down to that I'm still okay with? I'm not working for less than what I want, but I'm still okay with. So I'd come down to a level where I'm like, okay, it's not what I wanted, but I'm still okay with it. But I would never take where I'm like, I'm not okay taking this, but I'm gonna take it. You know what I'm saying?
I was gonna say for you, because it's definitely happened to me, like, it's okay for your like prices to change like as you go. Because like Ryan, like I started off trying to figure out, I remember those conversations where I'd say, this is how much it is, and they would come back to me with, nah, that's too much, and I'd have to regulate it, right? And then now, it's almost like sometimes it's a very welcome surprise when I hit someone with a big number, and they're just like, cool, like this is how much it is. And then that's almost like validation for me that what I'm asking for is not unreasonable. But one thing I learned after speaking to like a couple mentors of mine who like, they're on the side of things where they're paying people like us. One thing they told me is that a lot of freelancers and entrepreneurs like undersell themselves, like a lot, like underprice themselves, sorry.
Because they don't know.
We genuinely don't know. Like there's no like union or structure for people like us. And what ends up happening is you get a lot of people who undercut each other. If Ryan says he's gonna do something for 200 and I come on and say, oh, I'm gonna do it for 100, they're gonna take me not knowing that the quality of work is better with him, and they actually
don't care.
A lot of them don't care.
They really
about
don't
that,
care
right?
at the end of the day.
Yeah,
it's like dollars and cents. It's like
he'll do it for cheaper.
It's marginally less, and we make more margin with him. Yeah, take it.
I can see how I can see how that dilutes like the market, because I've seen that personally, because there will be certain like influencers who will be like $5 for a shout out from this brand, and then if you come to me and I'm like X amount, they're like,
I got one from
this
that
guy's
guy.
$5. I'm like, bro, I'm not doing this for $5.
It's worse for you, let's say, if that person who did it for $5 has 500,000 followers versus you.
Yeah.
And they don't know that what their 500,000 followers is worth.
Yeah.
You have what, 30 or 40 or something?
Yeah.
And you're like, I'm doing 100, and they're like, I'll do it for 20. They're like, that guy's more followers than you, and he said that. And you're like,
he's playing himself.
You're like, but how do you tell? To them, they're like, well, I can just go to him. It's like
there's no regulation, man, and it's like as Ryan said before, you just kind of have to go through trial and error and figure it out yourself. Because when I was working at that marketing company and I had to pay influencers, I remember there were influencers who would turn down posting like 2 Instagram story posts that would disappear in a day for like 10 grand. I'd be like, yo, here's 10 grand, post it. People would be like, nope, that's not enough for me. And like for them, some of those people could just, like in their head, they could justify it because so-and-so company paid them this much to do it. Like they're like, oh,
I think that's that's the biggest thing.
Yeah, Google paid me
Once
this much.
once you've gotten a price that you've said, you're like, I
can't go back.
You now believe it's possible.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is. I just say, at the end of the day, price yourself on what you feel you deserve and what works for your lifestyle.
Yeah.
And wait for it.
Just don't become silly with it though. Like really don't. Like
I want 50 racks for the story post.
Don't because like I'll never forget that story I just told. I sometimes think about that where I'm like, for 30 seconds of work, you could make 10 racks. And people are saying no to that. Right?
That means they got something. That means they got something else.
I know it means they got something else, but 10 racks is still 10 racks.
Yeah, I
and
can see how like if it's something like that where it's minimum effort, I could see maybe taking lower than what you like. If Google gave me 50, and you want to give me 10 for the same thing, for me to just be like,
but you're
follow this page.
You guys are both missing. Like we'll wrap it right now, but you guys are both missing the fact that if you take that $10,000, you've dropped your brand.
It to them. To that company. That's the only time you drop it because it's not disclosed.
I know. But the thing is, you don't know what's ever disclosed unless you're signing NDAs with everyone that you work with, which these creators are not doing. You don't know what's not disclosed. You never. And I've learned very tough lessons that people talk way too much.
I've heard someone say that. Huh? I've heard someone say that they were working with this brand and they were like this much, but they were like, oh, but you charge this person that much. Why are you charge?
You have no idea what the conversation that people are having.
I don't know. Like I'm just saying because like like when I worked like on the opposite side of it, like I made them all sign NDAs. Right?
But I'm saying that's a rare case. Like
so
the rare occasion for that. Like you're like, okay, if I'm working with my brand, you're signing NDA. No, this will never get out. Then they might be like, okay, low key, whatever. But for the most part of companies that work with these people, influencers, that every now and then it's like, oh, what do you want? Here, you don't know if you give this person an opportunity that they'll undercut you in another company. Now you can't charge 60 racks. They're like, you did something for 10. What are you talking about? You just killed your potential of anything because people found out you did it for 10. You know what I'm saying? It's just, you have to keep yourself at a standard.
I see both sides of it still. But hold on, so how much followers did they have? I'm trying to get the 10 racks for the how much followers did they have? Was it like 1 million?
Yeah, she had like over 1 mil.
Okay, makes sense.
But at the end of the day, it's not content. I think what bothered me about that is it wasn't content that was gonna live on her page forever. It's different if I say to Ryan, look, Ryan says no to me because he's like, I don't want, this stuff doesn't align with what I do and I don't want it on my page. But it's like, that's gonna disappear. It's gone. It's gone, literally disappeared. I'm at like, in what world can someone pay you money for something that is gone 24 hours later?
I still get it, but at the same time, for that 24 hours, you're representing something that doesn't represent you.
And how long are people gonna remember that?
You don't know that.
You don't. I don't know. I would have took the 10.
I know that. Trust me.
You would, but Jay-Z wouldn't. Like,
yeah, that's true. It depends on your level.
I'm not calling that person Jay-Z, but you have to view yourself at a certain level if you want to be at a certain level.
Kim Kardashian's not taking 10,000 for a story post.
Right? It just
she's not, but she'll definitely take like a couple hundred for something that's gonna disappear. I've seen it. Anyway, let's wrap up.
But yeah, thank you, Trey, for coming by. This was a great episode, informative episode. I'm sure you could take some stuff from it. The conversations we have on and off camera. I'm always here to help you. Give you some advice. I'm sure you don't need that for certain things. You're killing it doing what you're doing, so that's great. We're proud of you. Yeah.
Let them know where they can find you, where they can follow you.
All my social medias are I am Chizor, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Google, whatever medium you want to go to, you'll find it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you guys for stopping by another episode of WTT. Sorry. Thank you guys for tuning in another episode of WNTT. Long episode. Thank you guys for still being here. Until next week. See you.
Peace.
Hello?
We need to talk.
We need to talk.
We need to talk. We need to talk. We need to talk.